Welcome back to Words on Wellness with me, Kenyan Poet. And we are now in season 6, in episode 6 of this podcast. And if you haven't had a chance, please watch the previous episodes. And also, if you haven't, please go on and hit the subscribe button. And yeah, we are now on Apple podcast. So if you have friends wakomaju and with their iPhones, they can now listen to the podcast on Apple Music. Now, lifestyle diseases such as high blood pressure, and cancer are now the leading causes of death in Kenya, with more than half of these deaths at 55% due to high blood pressure, as I said, heart diseases, diabetes, and cancer. And this is according to the statistics from the Ministry of Public Health, Sanitation, and Medical Services. Now, these diseases also account for half of hospital admissions. Globally, 60%, and that is 36 million, of those deaths are caused by lifestyle diseases. And out of this, 80% are in Africa. I will let that sink in. Some of the factors that have contributed to the rise of lifestyle diseases, particularly in Kenya, are change in urban lifestyle, including a sedentary lifestyle, behaviors, and unhealthy diets. Lack of activity and excessive alcohol consumption are also some of the major risk factors. Now, my guest today will be dwelling on one of the factors that has been contributing and has been exacerbating or increasing the burden of non-communicable diseases, and this is limited education or lack of information. So my guest today, I'd like to welcome Dr. Charity Chepkemoi Kirui, aka Miss Kirui. She is a medical officer at LONGISA COUNTY REFERRAL HOSPITal, Bomet. But how I knew her is, and she's a medical practitioner with experience working in both in public and private hospitals. And when Dr. Charity is not treating patients, she is Miss Kirui online, navigating the world of fitness and health. Karibu sana.
Thank you so much.
And I'm not sure, should we use Miss Kirui or should we use Dr. Charity?
Charity is just fine.
Charity is just fine. Awesome. Yes. And today's episode, I have two guests, and my second guest is Skimo Njoro, aka Skimo. He works in the aviation industry, and when he's not doing that, he is an entrepreneur, an electronics dealer, an avid cyclist, and a digital creator. He is also in the board of Challenge Hunters, a cycling club established in 2024. That is last year. Karibu sana, Skimo.
Asante sana.
Great.
Yeah.
So after that very lengthy introduction, I'd like us to sort of jump straight into it.
Okay.
And because today's episode, I've started with a preamble on where we are at as a country when it comes to lifestyle diseases, and at the end of this show, I'm hoping that we will sort of be able to bring all that back, link all those dots. And what you're doing, and we will get into that, is one of the things that is helping in demystifying and creating information and education among Kenyans on a lot of the misconceptions that many of us have had about working out and things and fitness and things like that, from a very disengaged perspective to what you're doing in the space that is relatable. But I'd like us to start with, you've not always been content creators and fitness enthusiasts, and I'd like to start with you, Charity.
Mm-hmm.
What has your fitness and journey been like? What was the genesis, and what led to that?
Okay. So I'll take you back to 2020. This was a time when COVID was starting in Kenya. So this time I was in my 6th year of medical school, and I remember it was March 19th. March 19th, 2020, I was just in my house and I started to panic. I cannot tell you why. I just started to panic. I felt like the walls are closing in on me. So I called my friend, we went to hospital, and then I'm being told you're having panic attacks. I'm like, what do you mean I'm having panic attacks? I was okay yesterday. So I was put on medication for like 3 days. That ended okay. Then 2 months later, when now we've been restricted as a country, we are in lockdown, I started to have severe headaches. Like, I don't understand. I'd have severe headaches and I'm vomiting. My parents are wondering what's wrong, what's going on. So I ended up going to hospital and being referred to a psychiatrist. So the psychiatrist tells me, Charity, you have anxiety. So I'm wondering, what do you mean I have anxiety? Yes, what I'm feeling is I was just afraid of things. Like I'd just be seated at home, afraid. I cannot leave the house because I'm afraid. I'm vomiting, I'm losing weight. I was put on medication. This medication, I was put on it for 9 months. So I started around April 2020 to end of the year taking medication for anxiety. And when I was sick, my anxiety is the worst in the morning. So I'd wake up, I feel like I'm having chest pains, I'm having palpitations. This is like awareness of my heartbeat. I'm feeling like my skin is burning. I'm like, what is going on? And I couldn't continue like that every single day. Yes, I'm on medication. And you see, the problem with medication that you're put on for depression, anxiety, they don't take effect until probably 3 weeks. So in those 2 weeks, I was just suffering. Every morning, I'm waking up in panic. I don't understand what's going on. I'm thinking, oh my God, you're a doctor. You should know how to handle these things. What is going on? Yeah. But then I don't know how to. And my parents are wondering, what is this? My siblings, everyone is just in shock. What the hell is going on? So I sat with myself and I told myself, okay, what are you going to do? What if I find an alternative? What if I go out and do something? That was the genesis of me going. And if you go through my social media and like the initial videos and photos were of me in the field at home. We have in our estate, we have like a field just to Koenje. And we usually go there. I'd go there with my niece. My niece doesn't know this. She was 8 at that time. But this girl does not know she was healing me at that time. She thinks I'm just sick. She's like, oh, Charity and the Angel, let's go jump around. Let's do some exercise. But this girl does not know she's healing me. She doesn't know that me going out with her is now transitioning me from being that immobile person in the house and actually starting to move. That's when I started making the videos, because she'd be like, so make a video, Basi, because now that you're exercising, let's make a video, then we'll just go watch them in the house. So I'd make the video.
So your niece is the one who made your content
creator. My niece is the genesis of my content creation, because she's like, Chari, okay, fine. Now that you're doing exercise, let me just take a video of you. So she takes a video of me, and then we go back to the house. We continue the next day. And I did this consistently for like 6 months before we went back to school. And I realized exercise was boosting my serotonin.
And this is not something that the doctor told you, like, I have this, like the red pill and the blue pill. So I have, for the Matrix fans out there, so the blue pill is that you continue taking medication, and the red pill is that you start doing exercises, and which will actually be, more beneficial for you in the long term.
I feel like, yes, every doctor will tell you about it and tell you. That's why now when I do my content, I have a reason why I'm doing it, because I was in a space where I was anxious, and I removed myself from that space through exercise. That exercise was a boost of serotonin, because the medication I was getting, yes, it's meant to increase your serotonin levels. But then I needed more, because I was down bad. I was in a state of debilitation where my parents are bringing me food to the bed.
Wow, it was that bad.
It was really bad. Anxiety, people think anxiety is just, oh my God, I'm just having a panic attack, or they think it's just something that it is a mental illness that should be treated like a physical illness. The way we see diabetes, the way we see hypertension, we should see depression and anxiety the same way. We shouldn't start saying that anxiety is different from depression because it's a mental thing. Ni kitu ya wazungu, because it's near rich people. And these are the things that people tell me, and I think, no, what are you saying? That is wrong. It's not a thing ya wazungu. It's not a thing for rich people. Anybody can get anxiety. Anybody can get depression. So at that time when I started doing the content and I started doing the exercise, I did not realize that I'd get here. It was more of, I need it because I need to survive. I need to stop feeling anxious in the morning. Mm-hmm. And at that time when I stopped medication, I realized I need to continue exercising. I need to continue moving my body so that my serotonin does not go back. I do not want to relapse. And that was just the beginning of everything for me.
Mm-hmm. And this continued even after the lockdown was lifted and all the restrictions were lifted.
Ever since that time, I have been consistent. Well, I have tried to. You cannot be consistent all the time. Yes. There are times when you take a break, because I went back to school, and school is a bit hectic at that time. But at the end of the day, that is where I realized this has to be a lifestyle thing. It cannot be something you do today, then you skip 5 weeks and then realize, oh, I'm back now. No, this is something
that rock bottom again.
Now now when I get sick is when I want to exercise. No, this is something I need to sustain, so that at the end of the day, I don't want to go back there. I don't want to feel anxious, even though currently, yes, you do feel anxious here and there. There are days when you're not really okay, but at the end of the day, okay, working on myself and being the way I am now has really made me maintain my serotonin levels and maintain my mental health at this point.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really powerful. Skimo, for you? Because a lot of things happened during COVID.
Yeah.
My previous guest, who's as we come to you, the director for NCBA Loop, I think he was seated right there, Eric Murioki, talked about the same thing, that it's around the COVID period that he, as a lot of things were happening, yes, a lot of bad things happened, but I think for a lot of Kenyans, and I think also people globally, there was a reawakening about the need for active living and finding something to do to take your mind off, because I think we're dealing with a lot of mental anxiety and things like that. Skimo, what was the genesis for you?
For me, I can say it started also around COVID time.
Oh.
But yeah, mine, I'll take it back maybe 2018. Yeah, it was 2018. I was trying to like quit alcohol and all that. You saw my earlier photos. I had gained a lot of weight.
I couldn't believe it was you.
So I was trying to actually cut some weight to see the confidence boost was gone. So I tried to maybe get into fitness. But back then it was just the gym. And then for me, gym was not fun.
Yeah, and it's interesting that for a lot of people, fitness was equals to gym.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have sort of, I think, hang-ups about, and even misconceptions, or not even like their relationship with the gym is not, most people don't take well to the gym, myself included. Initially, I was like, gym is not the way that I want to go, but continue.
Yeah, so for me, I joined a gym in 2018, but you see, the trainer is always putting pressure on you. So for me, that's not what I was looking for, because me, I tried something like, I want something that is easy on me, because you go to the gym, he tells you like, okay, you need to lose this amount of weight in 3 months. Then what happens after 3 months?
Yes, I get you.
Yeah, I tell him, okay, I need to do this. He tells you, yeah, this one we'll do in 3 months. But
and then
after 3 months, I relapse back to my lifestyle. Then I come back after 2 months. So it was just up and downs. Then COVID came. So I saw, actually, my friends in the estate started cycling. And I was like, okay, I can try this. So I borrowed a bike from a friend. I told him, okay, can I just take your bike? For me, it was, the bike was in Juja. So I took the bike from Juja. I used to live around Ruiru. So from Juja to Ruiru, I felt the rush, you see, the wind and all that. I saw this is something I can do. Then the next ride was 40 km. I joined. The next one, 80. Then I told the estate guys, you guys, so for me now, the level I am, tunachiana hapa.
Slow down.
Yeah, there was a group in 2020 formed during COVID called Spin Kings. So I saw them post a ride to Naivasha. I was like, I can do this. Yeah, nilijichosha tu, nikozileza. The day came, woke up around 3 a.m. If you tell me I woke up at 3 a.m. to go ride the bicycle, siwezi eleza. But 3 a.m., 4 a.m. I was outside my house. I met the other guys. I suffered that day. But you see, cycling, for me, I can say it's a passion. And also I had the drive because, I was trying to lose the weight. Also, like, quit alcohol. I had a lot of things, after COVID was there, work is slow. Sometimes even don't have anything to do. So I just seated in the house. So also there was a community with the guys because you can interact with people. So I joined the group. I did like a few rides, then I joined the group. Then now you have they make you go to the ride, so you're accountable to them. So easily I started cycling, but after COVID, the lockdown was lifted. Everything came back to normal. I relapsed again. Yeah, so, but then now around that was 2021, June. There is a ride we normally do. It's a myasthenia gravis. It's a disease, nerve system. We did the ride to Nakuru. That's where now I realized, okay, sometimes there is a guy who cycles there called Kimtai. He uses cycling to like keep him in check. And it's the lifestyle makes him, at least the medicines, he doesn't need them that much because with the lifestyle he lives, it's actually his health-wise is okay. So I had a small chat with him. And from there, I've actually just adopted cycling. Then I started just making fun content about cycling, just to I can share with someone. Then they're like, can I join you? So you see, now you also create your own fan base. So if I don't cycle today, what will I record to post to IG? And that's how I started cycling, like consistently. And as you can see right now, the weight is gone.
Hey, how much did you weigh?
Actually used to the last time I did the way, and that's why I said like I need to change, was 2021 around April. I was 1 or 2 kg.
Ulikuwa umepita 100.
Yeah, I had passed 100.
Wow.
I know the issue is hauonangi because you wear your normal baggy clothes, so for you
unasema tu nguo hazitoshi.
Kitambo sikuwa navaa like any tight clothes. So ukivaa sweatpants hainanga ati ukinaona ati inaenda tu iki-expand na wewe. So from there I changed the lifestyle. For me, I took cycling as a lifestyle and fitness. I've tried other things like charity, yoga, ilenilemea. So
tunaongea story ya yoga. Charity does all of them. We'll talk about how you're able to do all those things.
Me only just do cycling. Even running, I tried. Only do cycling. Yeah, and for me, it's stuck. So right now I'm around 73 kg. Fluctuates 73 to 75. So yeah, I'm happy where I am right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nini ili happen your ride ya Naivasha? Charity, do you want to know? Like, you remember you talking about that ride? Yeah. It was tough.
Naivasha from Ruiru to Naivasha.
It's around
216 kilometers.
216.
Yes.
And from Nairobi to Thika is how long? How many kilometers?
It's 40.
So it's
45.
5 times.
Yes, 5 times.
And had you done a distance that
the longest distance I had done was 80 kilometers. We did it a whole day. We were just 2 guys, me and my friend called John.
Yeah.
So I just saw the group and I'm like, 216. But you see, for them, it's not written 216 because the distance is calculated from Nairobi.
Oh, so you did more.
Yeah, so for me, from Ruiru to Nairobi is 30 and back is 30. So in my mind, I knew I'm going to do 150 km. So I'm like 80 plus 70, that's 150.
No.
So by the time I get to town, I'm like, hey, wait, it's already 30. Then I heard the briefing, the guy say, the ride will be 150. I'm like, yo, me already have 30. And itakuwa 180, si mbaya, imeongezeka na 100. You know, like you're just a beginner cyclist. You don't know how the distance is calculated. Uji, like they start cycling from Nairobi. So for me, I was like, this is 150. Me, I'm done.
Yeah.
Then we left, from Nairobi all the way to, is it Limuru? It's a climb.
Oh, yes. It's an incline, the whole
And
route.
for me, I didn't use the Nairobi route. If you know Banana Raini Road.
Yes.
That's what we used.
But isn't that, there's a steep hill there somewhere.
Yes, now that's what we used. The bike I had was poor, cheap bike. Ile tu niliomba jamaa yangu, it's the bike I was using. Yeah, so like by the time I got to Limuru, guys were already at my Mahio. Actually not my Mahio, Longonot, if I'm not wrong. So by the time I'm getting to Naivasha, it's the guys are turning back.
You see, wow.
So for me, it's like hata sikukula lunch, like alafu starting cycling hujui like you need to feed.
Yes.
So for me, yes, because on my normal rides what we do, soda.
Yeah.
Na unaendelea na ride and you're okay. Maybe just some mandazi. That's what I did. Bought a soda and some cakes and I was like, mi niko sawa. The return leg was where now I knew cycling is not for the weak. Because there is that climb, Kinungi.
Yes.
Even with a car, you feel your car, it's getting
in a hema pia.
In a hema hapo. Then the bike ikavunjika frame. It was a steel bike, so I had to go slow. Then find somewhere ikakuwa welded. So like from 3 a.m., I think I got home around 7 p.m. Na mi nikiwa huko chini, naona kwa group watu washaandika home safe. Sijafika hata viewpoint. Unaingia kwa group ukipiga picha ati upost uambia watu niko viewpoint. nasoma chats hapo watu walishasema home safe. May was like,
that was a long day for you.
How do guys cycle? Yeah. Very long day. But regardless, I think because if I never attempted that challenge, I could have never been what I am today. Because right now I'm the one doing the same challenges and pushing people to like be active.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but
lakini
sisi hatuwekei watu mbali hivyo for now. Like, we encourage like small rides, but at least you push your limits. Si ile unakuja then you're like, I can't ride fast. Tunakwambia sawa. No, we'll push you to where tunaona yes, you are hapa huwezi pita. Because you know someone will come and say, like that day I could have just said and turn at Limuru.
Yeah.
But I had the will to push myself nifike hiyo Naivasha because nilikuwa nimeweka end goal kufika Naivasha. Alafu kifika Naivasha I was like, I can still do back to Nairobi. Because some people actually boarded matatus. And for them they actually experience in season. But me, I had to prove it to myself I can do this. You can
actually do it. I love that. Yeah. And there's something you said, and I remember in one of the WhatsApp groups I am in, someone posted, he's an avid cyclist, so he posted, hey, easy organized tips, siku anajua watu wanakuja na magari. So what he did, he was told we're starting in some place. I don't know whether it was Critical Mass. It was a ride that was organized from city center. So he came with the bike, so he rode. So then only to realize later when they're coming back that everyone was getting on their cars and heading home.
Oh, wow.
Like, mnafaa kutuambia. So I just remember that when you're talking about your experience. Charity, why is this important to you? And what effect has it had on your overall well-being? We've talked about the experience of what led to it.
Mm-hmm.
But from my own experience, the reasons that got me into running the first time, they're not the reasons that I continue to run or I continue to work out or whichever other physical activities I do. I've continued to find new meanings to what I do.
Mm-hmm.
Has that been your experience?
I think initially, probably the reason I'd do yoga, I'd work out was because of my mental well-being. But when I started to practice medicine and you realize, these lifestyle diseases are really bad. People have hypertension, people have diabetes, people have illnesses that they have to take medication for a long time. And they come in, I know it's a preventable disease because it's a lifestyle disease. If you change your lifestyle, you will change who you are. So you practice and you realize this is, and at the end of the day, where I work is the renal unit. So I work for patients who are undergoing dialysis. And the two common leading factors to getting chronic kidney disease that leads you to get dialysis is hypertension and diabetes. So if you do not control your hypertension, you do not control your diabetes, you might end up in dialysis. I think this is something that a lot of people need to know, because if you're not taking care of your life, and don't think that diabetes, hypertension is for people who are 45, people who are 43. People who are 28 are getting hypertension. People who are 23 are getting hypertension. But most of the time there's primary and secondary, so probably they have secondary. Mm-hmm. But that does not change the fact that you could end up in dialysis. So if you're thinking that because I'm 30, because I'm 32, I cannot get hypertension, let me tell you today, you can get that hypertension. And you can get hypertension on, let's say it's April. You can get hypertension in April. By July, you're doing dialysis. We really need to change how we live our lives, because you're being told hypertension and diabetes are lifestyle diseases. So you need to ask yourself, what can I do?
Break it down for us. When you say that, when you're diagnosed with hypertension, how exactly does someone get there?
To get hypertension?
Yes.
So essentially we have primary hypertension and secondary hypertension. So primary is the essential one, the lifestyle hypertension. And then secondary is organic causes that are giving you elevated high blood pressure. So let me deal with this essential hypertension. So for someone to get hypertension, usually a lot of the time it's a lifestyle disease. Are you drinking alcohol? Are you smoking? Are you not eating well? These are things that will increase your BMI. And if your BMI is increased, obviously, it means that maybe you're not healthy. You're going overweight, you're being obese, and your body cannot handle that.
BMI is body mass index.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So also let me say something about BMI, because a lot of the time, people who are very muscular can have a high BMI. Most of the time they didn't take Africans into consideration, or people who are lifting weights into BMI. Because, you can have someone who is a heavy lifter, someone who takes a lot of protein, someone who is a heavy lifter, and you're going to the gym, your BMI could be high. So usually other things that I would use is like your waist circumference, because your waist circumference tells me, are you obese, are you overweight? Those are things that I like to use. But because it's very common for us to use BMI, that is the standard thing that we're using now. So if your BMI is high, it's telling you you're overweight, you're obese. These are things that can lead you to get hypertension, because your body cannot tolerate all that weight. Your body is unhealthy. So you'll end up getting diabetes. You'll end up getting hypertension. So when you get hypertension, diabetes, these are things, usually by the time someone comes with hypertension, depending on how high it is, that will make me consider if I'm going to start you on medication, or I'll tell you, we need to change your lifestyle. Because if you come with a pressure of maybe 130, because normal is 120/80 for any normal person, and then you come with maybe 130 over something else, I'll tell you, okay, this is pre-hypertensive. This is something that I can tell you, for the next 3 months or for the next 2 months, let's work on either your weight, let's work on cutting your alcohol, let's work on looking at your carbs and your diet. Because your body responds to these things. If you cut down on alcohol, if you cut down on your weight, if you do things like that, if you rearrange your lifestyle, your blood pressure will come down.
Experience and even having spoken with doctors, from my experience and from what I've heard doctors say, is that a lot of people don't want to change their lifestyle. So in a lot of the cases, there's a specific doctor that I was seeing who's deals with injuries and things like that. So he deals with a lot of he's an orthopedic. Yes. And so he was telling me that for a lot of patients, they'd prefer you give them medication. Like they want the easy way out. Because for a lot of people, changing lifestyle feels very heavy. Like there's a lot of heavy lifting that they need to do. And most of us are just looking for shortcuts.
People expect that if I start changing my lifestyle today, I should see results next week.
Yeah.
I should see results tomorrow.
Immediately.
If I am 60 kg today and daktari has told me endo punguza kilo, I should be 53 next week.
Wache
pombe, wacha kukula. I should be 53 kgs next week. If you're not patient with your body will not be patient with you. You see, if you stress your body, because now you're stressing your body to lose weight, your body is going to tell you, I cannot lose weight. You need to be patient with me. You need to give me 2 months. You need to, and you see, the thing is, you start to see results after some time. That's why people are telling you, be disciplined, be consistent, because results don't come tomorrow. They will come in 2 months, in 3 months, when you start to feel all of a sudden you're lighter. All of a sudden you can run, or when you're running, hauhemi sana. Ukipanda stairs, you're not hauhemi ukifika at the top.
Yes.
So a lot of people don't want to change because it's not easy to change. If you tell someone who has been drinking alcohol every weekend that you need to cut your alcohol, they're like, hey, nipe tu dawa nitakunywa.
Sasa mabeste wangu wote wako kwa club, how do I socialize?
Yes.
Mabeste wangu watasema nini?
Watahang
out na nani?
Ati leo ukunywi, mbona ukunywi? Daktari alisema usikunywe. We ishia. You see things like that.
Yeah.
So you need to be, it's more of a mental thing. Because you need to, I think people need to reach rock bottom before they realize,
do something about
I need to change now.
And Skimo ilikuchukua how long? From 100 and, was it 103 kgs? When did you start seeing the effects or feeling the effects of changing your lifestyle?
I can give it like a year.
Wow, a year is a long time.
It's a long time, but not a long time. Because for me, I decided not to give myself pressure with it. Like small changes. Because you see now, I was doing a lot. My lifestyle was actually very bad. A lot of alcohol, junk food, inactive lifestyle. So I had to you change small steps. Like I take less alcohol, I be active kidogo, not doing everything at once. That's how I was able to maintain it. Because if I did everything, like how I used to do it at the gym, I could go 3 months, quit everything, then I can't sustain it. Because after 3 months, you're like, yeah, I missed something. But then you're like, my body is okay right now. I'm good. You go back to the bar. 1 month later, you are back where you are. Yeah, that's why, at least for me, I gave it like a year when I started. after the year, now I saw like it's actually very good because for cycling you have the lycra is tight. So when you put an old fit, you see it like, okay, this can't fit. So nimekata kilo hapa. You lose that, unachukua ingine sasa yenye inakushika at that time. So that's why at least with cycling I see like you can notice your body changes as with even what you are wearing because it's tight. If it's not tight as it used to be, you know you've lost weight. But if you bought like a jersey like let's say like 4 months ago, it was tight, lakini ukivaa saa hii unasikia haiingii.
It's interesting. That's how I also I'm able to tell whether I'm losing weight or not.
Yeah.
I don't believe the weight scale so much.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just me, but there's a way that I actually believe more the clothes I could not fit into earlier that I can fit into now, as opposed to the weighing scale.
Yeah. Because for me, I have the weighing scale. I use it, but for me, it's more of, I use a smart scale because for me, it's more of the muscle mass and bone mass. Because sometimes, like right now, I'm trying to lift. Because the cycling, the lower body is okay, but the upper body, like unafika mahali ukitoa mkono hivi. Huwezi tembea hata na vest mahali bana. Mtu akipata mkono hivi ipigwe picha hivi inakuwa pressure. So like for now I've started like some weightlifting kidogo, but for me I'm doing it as body weight, not like going to the gyms, because for me I believe like going to a gym I can't sustain, because you see for me I commute to work. That's how I keep active on the bike. So like if I leave work around 4:30, I'll get home let's say 5:30. So now then I say I'll have to go to the gym. That would be around 7. And for me, I don't like eat out. I cook. So I won't have like the time to cook.
So that was one of the radical changes that you made about food.
Yeah. On food, I decided to cook. I tried the meal planning, but I don't know. There is just something with the kitchen. I prefer, I want to eat this today, napika hiyo nakula. See, because if you meal plan, you decide on everything, and let's say on a Sunday, then now you have to eat all of it over the week. For me, I decided like, I just cook my meals on a daily basis. So maybe 2 days I eat this. That's easier for me. So for me, the gym, I tried, and unless I go and do, what do we call this? The Zumba. But now you see, that's very, actually, I prefer somewhere I'm being active and it's fun.
And it's fun.
Yeah, because now you go weightlifting, pale ni pressure.
But it can be fun, imagine.
Weightlifting fun.
What I've come to learn, for you it might be fun, but for someone else it's torture.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For someone else, you're feeling, oh my God, those reps.
Just do what works for you.
Reps and I can barely get 10
I tried. You know, like for me, my arm strength are very weak actually. Naenda pale hapo na hata ni barbell peke yake, hata sijaeka weights, nang'ang'ana nayo hapo. Then you see a shori hapo ako kilo zake 50. Then you hear your guy tell you, unaona?
Kama wewe unaweza.
Uni msichana, weka chuma bana. Now you see like he's taking away like the growth you need. Because sasa badala uende step to step, unaenda according to the pressure, ile pressure unaekewa. So you find out like hata ile kuna kwa gym inaitangwa weight overload, inaitangwa ni progressive overload. Haufanyi like sasa wewe unafanya kulingana kenye unaambiwa na the other trainers wenye wako huko.
Yeah, that's the challenge with a lot of gyms. There's a lot of kupimanisha watu. And one of the things that I learned about it, because I've always had, before I now got into the gym system and I saw the value for it for my running, I actually put together a home gym. Because this thing of going to the gym and you're being told, I actually used to hate the instructions from the coach. Because they're not lifting weights, but they're telling you, continue lifting. So for me, and I think that was around the COVID period. Katengeneza home gym, very basic. I think the military style, just the tire and things like that. And I found that to be very beneficial because that's something that I wanted us to go into, the importance of strength training But before we do that, I wanted, and there's something you've said about how you've been able to make this into a lifestyle and juggling it with your career. Because Ube mentioned you actually cycle to work and from. For you, Charity, how have you been able to fit in? I mean, daktari munakuwa on call throughout, you're on duty. How do you get time to actually, do all the things that you do?
What I will say is my schedule where I work is a bit flexible. So I'm able to work and get free time to actually do these things. Not every doctor, and I will speak, especially now, the interns. I know this is something that is facing Kenyans. I don't know if I can talk, let me just talk about it, like the Kenyan doctors at the moment, where the junior doctors are facing, they're not being employed, they're not being posted, and these are things that can really affect their health. Because I remember during my internship, I did not have time to exercise. I did not have time to go to the gym. I had to buy a mat and be exercising in the house. These are things that are so hard for doctors, especially in Kenya at the moment, especially the junior doctors. But I thank God that where I work now, I'm a bit flexible. So I'm able to actually accommodate working out, running. But you say I have to wake up very early if I want to run, or I have to do it after work at 5. And now when I'm on call, now it's hard for me to exercise. Unless like if I'm on call that night, I'll work out in the morning. So it's easy for me because I'm privileged enough for me to be flexible, but not every doctor experiences that. Yeah.
Okay. And I think creating time, being intentional about it is the way to go, because everything in life, you create time. Whatever is important to you, you create time for it. Because this thing of saying, oh, I never have time to work out, you will never have time. But if it is something that, and this is something that we were talking with my previous guest, she's called Auntie Jemima, and what she was talking about was the effect that time that she dedicates, because for her, she consistently goes to the gym from 5 to 6 every day, 6 days a week. She only takes an off day once a week. Is the effect that she has seen the trickle down effect on her work, that she's able to show up the way she's able to show up because of that time that she took off. And I think once you're able to understand the effect that this is having on your overall well-being, that you become more appreciative, and you're like, okay, I would rather sacrifice the sleep as opposed to not working out. I'd rather, just wake up 1 hour early and do that. So let's talk about, strength training. It's something that a lot of cyclists, runners, we dread. Like even for me, by the time I took strength training is because physio told me, Njeri, the reason why you're having so many injuries is because you don't strength train. And, strength training, something as basic as warm up before the run, the kind of workouts that you do to strengthen your certain muscles of your body, because when you're running or when you're cycling, there's a certain set of muscles that you strain so much, and you need to strengthen those muscles, or even the sort of like the adjacent muscles. I'd like you to talk about, Charity, I'd like to hear your experience with strength training, and whether you got to it because you had injuries and the physiotherapist told you, Charity, the reason you're having a lot of injuries is because you're not strength training, as was my case. And I think we'll also go to Skimo, but the Skimo will also tell us, despite dreading going to the gym, how he's able to substitute that.
For me, I have always loved going to the gym. I will always advocate for the gym. Yeah, the gym for me is, I really love the gym. And so for me, strength training has never been an issue. I have been strength training before because I was constantly going to the gym. And then now when I started running and I got a few injuries, then I needed to change my level of strength training. I need probably to do more, or probably change my form. It's very important when you're running, you're straining certain muscles, you're straining certain bones, and those are things that you need to look after. So for me, strength training has never been an issue because I did it before. I did strength training before I started running. Yeah. So but it's very important for runners and cyclists to strength train.
Yeah, which is something that unfortunately for a lot of us, it's like we're dragged to the mat, whether at home or at the gym, kicking and screaming because we're like, I don't do this. And the other thing that I have noticed is that unfortunately, a lot of gyms don't understand the kind of strength training that runners need, which is different from if you just go to the gym and you don't do any other activity. So that's why you'll find people like Jeff Fit, he has become very popular because he understands, he works with the Kenya team of athletes. And so he understands the kind of exercises and workouts and things like that someone who is an athlete needs is very different from if you want to bodybuild or things like that. So that's a gap that I've seen. Skimo, we know your experience at gym, una dread kwenda gym, but how are you able to substitute strength training?
Actually, I can't say I dread going to the gym. What I dread is like training with the wale bodybuilders.
Yes.
Yeah, me, I prefer, if I'm going to the gym, there is a select crew of people you can train with. But when I used to go to the gym, me, I preferred the high intensity training. The ones that, it's better for me with my body type. Also, people don't understand, like, we all have like different bodies and your body responds different to workouts. So for me, I prefer the high intensity workouts with weights. Yeah, like you can be doing squats, alafu unaacha squat, you go just do a bench press, unaweka kilo 100 hapo. Hiyo haikuangi style yangu. But I think what I do now is like home workouts. I've bought some few weights. For me, it's easier doing it at home because now when I get home after a ride, I can just lift kidogo, then I can now stretch. Yeah, I find it being a better balance than trying to go to the gym, because if I go to the gym, I'll exert myself more. And maybe because now, see, I commute every morning and every evening. If I go to the gym, like train for 2 hours, by the time I get to the next day, in the morning, I'll already be tired to cycle to work. Yeah, so for me, I prefer like I get home, 30 minutes, I do like some small lifting, then that's enough. By the next morning, I'm okay. Because after the lifting, then you stretch your body, you are okay. Yeah.
I'm glad you've been able to find a way that works for you. And I think the most important message from what I've, what I hear is that find things that work for you.
Yeah.
There's no script that says, lazima ufanye hivi. Find what works for you and stick to that. Let's finally come to content creation. And I'd like to start with you, Charity. I think you've told us the genesis. It's your niece. And I think I saw that video and she was shaking and you're saying, my niece is...
Yeah.
and from that time, ume upgrade, because I see the quality of the videos that you do. And I've also seen the variety in the content that you do. I think my most interesting one, kwanza hiyo nilifeel nile watu wakwenda Kili.
Yeah.
Oh, that was you.
That was her. Watu wakwenda Kili walipata FOMO.
At Karura.
Yes, that's her.
Yeah, nice.
You see, your content has traveled.
Sijafikia yo, like I checked your page, but sikufika hapo.
Yeah, so she's, and I think that's the one that went viral because I saw it in a lot of the WhatsApp groups for runners that I was in. And you can tell there's a lot of creativity that has gone into it. There's also a lot of knowledge of current events, because that was very timely. It was, I think, 2 weeks after. What was it? Wait, it was around around February.
It was that same weekend of Kili. Yeah.
And it's, so what informs the way that you create content? Because that one was, I felt it was point on, because I was feeling the same way. Well, I was not going to Kili for other reasons, but I could really feel for more, because all the WhatsApp group people are posting status of Fasa tumefika. And I think the nightlife. Have you been to the for the Kili marathon?
Yeah.
No, I haven't. That's why I was feeling very bad. Because this year I was meant to go, but something happened at work and I couldn't go. Yeah.
Then I understand why you're feeling FOMO.
Yes.
See, FOMO ilikuwa personal
that
frustration.
one was actually from my heart.
No wonder we felt it.
Yeah.
So sorry, Kili marathon is one of the best experiences if you ever get to. And nowadays at a cyclist wanaenda, kuna watu wana cycle huko, wanaenda wanakimbia na wana cycle back.
Maybe I don't know how. I have a few friends who do it. Akina Smith, I can just name a few. There is Smith. I don't remember the other guys' names, but Smith, the guy cycled from here to, is it in Moshi?
Yes, to Moshi.
And then he ran a full marathon, a half marathon, 21 km. Is that a full and a half?
That is half.
That's half marathon, yeah.
Yes, they are superhumans in this world.
Yeah,
so last
superhumans,
2 weekends ago, I was moderating a panel discussion for an event organized by Pedalwise. Pedalwise is a multi-sport club, and they usually do a wild XC series, which combines running and cycling.
Okay.
It was happening at Kenya. So on the panel, I had 3 gentlemen. No, actually, 3 gentlemen and 1 lady. So there was James Waliaula, there was James King, there was Alex Mutongi, and there was Ingrid. Now, those 4 cycled to Moshi, ran the full marathon. In Alex's case, he went and hiked Mount Kilimanjaro, then went and hiked to Mount Elgon, back, and then cycled back.
So, in a period of a week,
Yes.
I believe.
I don't know how you'd explain that. Wow.
It's self-actualization.
Honestly.
Yes. It's a certain level of self-actualization.
You know what you want and you're going for it.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter. People will tell you, you'll be tired, do what. You want to.
And they're ready for it because it wasn't easy.
It's not.
It's never easy, but they've reached a certain level where they're like, I think you become friends with pain.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that's something I can say. You become friends with pain because, like, for cycling and running, you will go there, you run, you feel your leg. You even can't feel your legs, but you see the ride being posted for the next weekend.
And you want to pay.
You're already making plans and you're there feeling pain in your legs. But you're like,
you're signing up.
I'll be there. There is just, you just become friends with pain.
Yeah. So there's a certain level of mental fortitude and strength that being in that, doing that, constantly doing that, it sort of grows your levels of pain threshold such that you cycle all the way to Moshi. Of course, you will be feeling pain and, tired and things like that. But then the following day, you're like, oh, I actually feel great. So the next day, I'll just rest today. And by, Sunday, I'll be okay to run. And I think also because you're not running immediately, immediately you cycle, you're not going to be running the following day. You have some time to rest. They've sort of been able to understand their bodies, but I'm like, those are just superhumans. So, back to content creation. Let's talk about the craft of it. What goes into you creating like that video of you're not feeling FOMO because you didn't go for the Kili marathon. Like, how did that come to you and what was that process like? Because I realized you also ran in Karura. So take us through that process and how you go about ideation of your content, the shoot, editing and things like that.
A lot of the time, my friends tell me, you've said something funny. Like, I'd say something and then they laugh and I'm thinking, that's not funny. That's actually something I'm actually feeling. Because I'm feeling the pain of Karura or the pain of Moshi, you're not going to Moshi, and people are laughing. And then my friend is like, why don't you make a video?
You have very good friends.
Yeah, why don't you? That's so funny. Why don't we make a video? Or I was telling them, okay, fine, why don't we make a video about this? Because the first time, the most viral video I got was that one from that girl who has made running her whole personality. So this one, it was just a random thing because I had gone with my boyfriend to Java. And then I told him, let me make a video. And I never thought this would actually happen. Let me make a video because I really like running. Let me show you how runners are and how much we think running is important to us.
That.
He's like, fine, okay, you take your video. And then he's laughing. I'm thinking, this is not funny. This is actually how we are as runners. And then I posted it. I'm seeing so many likes. I'm thinking, wow, this is actually very relatable. So I think to myself, okay, fine. What is relatable about running, about hiking, that can be put in a funny way that people can actually enjoy? A lot of the time, if you're watching something, you don't want something so serious. Yes. You want it to come out and you're relaxing. You're already having a bad day. You want to watch something funny. You want to watch something that's really nice.
Or also something like, could other people also go through that?
Exactly. You think it's just me because, when you look at the comments, you're like, this is me. And I'm thinking, we are all living the same life because of that. Yeah.
Wow. So interesting. So for that video, and I've also seen you have a particular style for the videos you do.
Yes.
Do you usually have now that for the case of that particular video, was your boyfriend prompting you? There's usually a silence, and then she's like, let me tell you, and then it's like, so I'm usually, so I usually wonder, is it that you've edited out the bit where they're asking you? Or you continue, the kind of people who assume you've asked them the question and they go on answering.
I assume you've talked to me, so I'm just talking to you back. So I tell you, you just keep quiet, I'll do all the talking. I'll assume you're just asking me questions and I'll just talk back to you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I love the
So
ingenuity of it.
it's a monologue.
Like you're asking yourself questions in your head and then you're going on to respond.
Because you see, a lot of people in my life don't really want to be in the limelight, don't really want to, and I don't want to force them into it. So probably I'd be like, if you don't want to talk, fine. If you do, fine, you can say stuff like, yes, no, But if you don't want to talk, no problem, I can do it.
Oh, that is amazing. As we come to you, Skimo, I will be sharing Miss Kirui's not Facebook, but IG handle at the description of this podcast, and Skimo's as well, so that you can follow their content online. Skimo, how is your content creation process like?
For me, actually, my content is very simple. If you check my posts, me I even don't have like a structure or anything. Me, it's just us riding. Like for us, I try and keep it simple. I don't like structure and say I'll shoot this and this and this. May I prefer, like, you see, when you're cycling, there is moments of pain, moments of fun, and moments just banter. Because sometimes you'll just find me posting videos of like people roasting each other. Oh, wewe uliachwa.
Like I like the one you did of the golf, the cyclist who turned to golf and then she came back to cycling.
Yeah. Funny enough, that lady,
yes.
Halima, we actually even cycled with her to Arusha. Same route we did, but she couldn't go past Kitengela. Because you see, cycling, as I say, it's also like a lifestyle. If you leave it, you can't just come back to it and be where you are. You can't, any sport, as long as you leave something, you can't be back and be at the top.
And pick up where you left off.
Yeah. So for me, my content is normally like something comes to my mind, I just shoot it there. If like it's something I'm asking you, just comes to my mind, then I remove the phone, record you, and that's it. Put back my phone and keep going. If now, like there is sometimes you go to a ride, unaacho huko nyuma. So then you just be there, remove your camera, suck the pain, unajirecord hapo unasema.
Unajirecord ukiacho. I love that video that you did.
Yeah, because sometimes it's not, you are not always like the strongest person in the peloton.
In the group, yeah.
Sometimes you go to a ride, yes, you're the strongest. Sometimes you find people that are way too fast for you. So you just know how to create the content again around that. Some people come join the ride. Wanakuja hapo, they be like, for us we call it attacking. Like the group is riding in unison, then you're just trying to, let's go fast.
Anataka kudetermine pace ya vile mtaenda.
Yes. Anajaribu kuweka pace. Then you go like maybe the ride is 100 km. After 50 kilometers, the guy is already tired. Because you see,
Team Subaru,
it's just like the way you hear about, even running, you hear people say, pace yourself.
Yes.
So anakuja hapo, mbio. Then after 50 km, now we are catching up with you. Sasa tunakupata, tunatoa kamera. Yes, that's the good thing about cycling. We try and make every moment fun.
Yeah.
And that's why initially people used to know like ukiachwa si poa. For us, we say like ukiachwa, we make fun of it so that next time you learn from it. Because like there is a guy we made fun of. There is a ride we did to Isinya, but through this Kiserian road. The guy came, he was trying to outdo everyone. But you've come today, you don't know how I ride. I don't know how you ride. So you don't know my strength. But you know I can ride. Or even
your strategy.
Yes, I can ride 50 km super fast. But the ride was had a lot of wind, a lot of sun. Jamaa hakuwa anajua hivyo. So he was there. We got to Kiserian, ashachoka. Kufika Isinya, jamaa anakuja hapo, hata melon tunamshikia hivi. Kula melon kwanza. Yeah, so since then the guy has actually improved. That's why we say, for us, I prefer like creating such content because it goes doesn't feel like it's pressure to people to cycle or to like conform to a certain way. Because you see, most content you'll see online is from the elite riders. People with like heavy, all the best equipment. For us, we say like, bring your bike. That's why we would normally say when you're coming to the ride, just bring your helmet and a bike. Yeah, don't come here like, don't complicate things. Just bring your bike and helmet, then we can ride together and we create content around that.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I've loved about the content that both of you create is first how relatable it is, and then it's not coming from expert perspective of I'm an expert in this, and so I'm guiding you through all this. It's even those moments when you're struggling and you're and talking about different aspects of running. You see, like the way you're talking about, you were left, you wanted to go for the Kili marathon, you couldn't. Then there was another video that you did of dating a marathoner, you're at Nyayo Stadium.
Yeah.
And you're talking about your boyfriend whom we couldn't see because he wasn't an athlete. And you're talking about, my boyfriend is an athlete and he's here. And how it removes the seriousness from active, from fitness and physical activities, which a lot of people become fixated on. And also accommodating and becoming versatile to accommodate everyone. So even if it's someone who, I think there's another one you did about different kinds of runners.
Yeah.
And there are those who, they're full of gadgets and things like that. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing that I love, because I think is an event for you, being able to sort of bring different aspects of cycling, so that it's not just about the people who ride fast.
Yeah.
So I'd like us to talk about trends, fads, and fitness culture. Now, earlier on when we were starting, we were looking at, despite a lot of Kenyans, grappling with lifestyle diseases, this whole aspect of fitness and wellness, bado haijawaingia. Like, they haven't seen the correlation between nikiacha kufanya hivi ama nikianza kufanya hivi. And it doesn't have to be something big. Hata kama ni kutembea tu every day. So what we are seeing is certain challenges. A very good example was the steps challenge, 10,000 steps challenge. Sijui imefika wapi. Sijui kama watu bado wanafanya challenge ama imekuwa fad. So my observation is that there are lots of fitness trends that have been coming up. So I'd like to hear your thoughts on that, and also how do we make it sustainable such that isikuwe ni fad. Watu wamekuja, wamengangana, watu wameingia clubs, wamekimbia, alafu all of a sudden running in clubs is not fun anymore because posting on social media imeacha kuwa fashionable and things like that. So I'd like to hear from you, Charity.
I feel like anytime there's something that's trending, like steps or running or hiking, I think it depends on an individual. It's not a matter of, yes, there's always going to be peer pressure, but at the end of the day, you've started doing steps. Will you be doing steps 3 months from now? Will you be doing running 5 months from now? How do you tolerate it? Will you do it for 2 weeks and decide, okay, fine, me, I don't think I'm seeing results. Me, I'll stop running. I'll stop doing steps. I'll stop doing this. Because at the end of the day, trends will always be there. Since time immemorial, there are different trends coming. And I cannot speak, if you start to do stuff because it's happening or it's because it's the in thing, then probably you will not be consistent. If you run because my friends are running. If I run because I'm chasing a PB, if I run, and not because of my health and not because of my general well-being, then itafika point, if you're not seeing results or if you're not getting to that personal record of yours or personal best, then you're demotivated and you'll eventually stop and move on to the next thing and think, steps is not working. Tomorrow, let me try running. Maybe running might be better for me. Running is not too hard for me. Why don't I try the gym? And you see?
Yes, and there's another trend, sorry, it just occurred to me that running apps and clubs have become the new dating clubs. So ukienda huko usipopata, then what happens?
Quite tuko serious. I'm speaking for Karen young runners. We're very serious. We run, we chase personal DPs. We're very serious.
Also, Strava is the new Tinder.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah,
it's very true.
So what happens now if you get onto this trends because of things that other people are doing or people have told you, when you get onto when you join this running club, tapata, you find hot girls and cute men, and you don't. And so what then, and I love what you're talking about, because I think it's about finding your own personal why.
Exactly.
For why are you doing it? And even if everything else was removed, would you continue to do it?
If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything.
Wow. Yes.
Yeah,
Very
true.
interesting. So, Skimo, I think for you, maybe
For me, maybe just add to what she said, because it's more of the same. People you see, like you'll see someone try cycling because he saw someone do it. And that's why, like, you'll find most of my comments, people telling me like, I need to buy a bike because nataka hata mi kutokea kama cause, or you find someone trying to do something because they see someone else doing it, they want to do it like how they do it. Yeah. And that's because now, like for me, the person who actually pushed me to do content is my friend. She's actually also a good content creator. She's called Nyago, if you know her.
I know Nyago.
Yeah.
I was with Nyago at the Loop Gravel
Yeah,
series.
look, I was
I
also
think
there.
she was
Yeah,
engaged
also
for
there.
the Loop Gravel series.
Yeah. So we used to ride with her a lot. And then for me, back then I was still very chubby. So I could take photos of everyone and videos, but not myself. So she's the one who actually told me, like, all these rides you do, your commutes to work, you can just record yourself and
That's
post.
content right
Yeah.
there.
So for me, I was like, but how will people engage with like my content? I'm just cycling to work. How will that relate to you? So, like for her, we normally used to record like the tours we did. But now, when I started like doing the cycling, then recording, I started to see like people relate to it. Then you'll find someone say like, I can also actually commute to work with a bicycle, and like some people save on transport because you see someone lives far, you save time. Because actually for me, I save a lot of time using my bike than going to work with the matatus and all that. Then you find a purpose on doing it.
And you're also working out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, yeah, it's
a win-win.
I used to
3
save,
baths,
yeah, I
you're
save
getting
3 baths
3
with one
baths
time. Yeah.
down.
So
Yeah.
I actually encourage people, don't do like don't start cycling because you see me cycling. Okay, you can start it because you saw me cycling, but find a why in your own terms. Because if you just say like, let me do it so that I can go out with these guys, you'll come, then you'll join the group for maybe 2 to 3 months. Then you're like, this is not fun anymore. And that's why, like, even before, as you mentioned about challenge hunters, even before you join, we normally tell you, you have to do 3 rides first before you join the group. Because you might just come, do 1 ride, we add you to the group, and that's all. You never show up again. But if you do 3 rides, by the time you are done with it's a habit. That's a whole month. By the time you are done with the 3 rides, you at least find something that you can stick to and why you are riding your bike.
Yes.
Yeah, that's how we try and push. You can join the ride, but at least try and find something to be distinctive about your passion or why you want to do it. Not just doing it for the sake of joining the group or just to be with my friends. Yeah.
All right. As we wrap up, the future. Where do you see yourself in this space, Charity? And what is it that you would like to see in the space that is not currently, existing?
Honestly, I wish people would take lifestyle diseases more seriously. I know like the organizations that do, but people just sometimes don't think it's as serious as it is. So, and these are things that you can change with your lifestyle. So if you get into something, just move. It doesn't have to be, you have to be the best runner chasing PBs. You have to be the best cyclist who can do 100 kilometers. No, just be on the move. Do something for your body. Because if you treat your body good, your body will thank you. Your body will also treat you good. So that 10 years from now, 5 years from now, has your body changed? Have you been treating your body okay? I know whatever we're doing now is for when I'm 50. I'm not doing this for tomorrow. I'm doing this when I'm 40, when I'm 50, when I have children. Can I carry them? When I go to school, am I able to run with them? Can I play with my kids? These are things I'm doing for my future self. So that in the future, if content creation works out for me, I probably want to make an impact. All of us do want to make an impact, probably in different ways. I want people to realize that being active doesn't have to be boring. You can have fun. It's never really that serious. Probably you can join a group and you're very intimidated. If you join a run club and you find people are sending like their stats to the group, you're seeing someone has run 5 kilometers in 16 minutes and you're thinking, when will I get here? You need to know that consistency, probably if you're consistent, it will take time. but you will get there someday.
And
But
everyone has a beginning.
Exactly.
Like they didn't start out doing those 5 kilometers in 16 minutes.
I couldn't run 1 kilometer last year, but I was able to run a half marathon. And for me, that is a big achievement. It doesn't matter if you're running 42 kilometers, you tell me you've run sub 2, fine, good for you. That's good for you. But me, with my 2 hours, 40 minutes of a half marathon, that is a big achievement for me. So I want people to realize no matter what you're doing, no matter how small it is, that is good for you. As long as you're doing it for you, you're having fun while doing it, and you're doing it for the betterment of yourself and not for other people.
I love that. I love that. Skimo, where do you see yourself in this, Nini, in the cycling? What does the future hold for you? And also as a content creator in the space?
For me, in cycling, as I've taken it, for me, I took it as a lifestyle. So I want it to be like, I want, as she said, in my 40s and 50s, can I still be cycling? That was what I asked myself. And I've seen people doing it. Like we have people like David Kinja. The guy is 50. He's still competing. Like they just ended the race, the SBITT. The guy was actually podium
finisher. Wow.
Yeah, podium finisher. And you see the competitors who are half his
age.
Yeah, that's what. Like for me, actually, I'm not doing it at such a competitive level, but at 50, can I still be active without like having to put a lot of pressure on myself? Yeah, that's what I did, and that's why I try to like push the message to others through the content. Like you don't have to like cycle to be competitive with anyone. Just cycle for you, for your own good, because at the end of the day, it's you who knows why you're cycling and the benefit it brings to you, because each and every person is different. For me, I might be cycling for fitness. You'll find someone cycling for therapy, because you see people just go to Karura, take a whole 1 hour to ride their bike, clear their mind, and then they're back to like their work and all. Like they're back fresh. For me, it's more fitness and social life, but I encourage people like to just do you, like in simple terms, you do you, because you know what you want, and everyone does it at their different levels. But not to be like, I cycle for 5 years, I'm 2 years, and then that's all. My future, for me, I see it as a lifestyle where you can even trickle down to your kids. So that,
and they also have a lot. I have 3 children, and they're always like, "Oh, mom is always working out. Mom is either working out or running." And it's something they have seen, and even if it hasn't sort of trickled down to them, because my daughter still dread running. They're like, "Mom, can we just go walk?" Our youngest son has really taken to it, but I know they'll come along. Yeah. Sorry.
On the content side, I can say for me, if we, the content space is it's not as easy as it looks. If we make it, I'll just try, like, I don't want to like complicate my content. I want to keep it and simple, because the more you complicate things, the more it also gets complicated to you, and it eats a lot of your time. And like for us, you have to cycle, create content. Also, you have your career. So for me, I want to like just keep it simple. Iendelee tu venye imeishi kukua, not complicate anything. But
I think that's the magic. That's a formula right there. Like you found a formula for you, the content you're creating for you also. And once you find that formula, then you don't need to find anything. See, like, and sorry to use this example, because it's a bad example. When Coke found that formula, it's still the same one that they have used. And you see generations later, people are still consuming consuming their products. So I think just sticking to that, and I'm one of your biggest fans.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And I felt that it was important to also have that aspect of fitness and wellness being featured, and just looking at who are the people who are, because this is advocacy, really, who are advocating for this and demystifying this to the public. So thank you so much for coming on to the show. This was a very illuminating conversation. And I wish you all the best in your content creation. I know it takes a lot, and it takes a lot for you to juggle the work that you're doing, because for you it's a passion. But more power to you, and I hope that you can continue serving us with awesome content online.
Thank you so much.
We sure do.
All right.
Thank you.